Now at 9, how Muncie libraries are working to keep history alive.
And how one local corner store is serving more than just food.
President Biden takes steps to decriminalize marijuana.
And the U.S. response to the North Korea missile launch.
Yet another round of cool air is coming in our direction. I have all those details coming up.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Elias Elsner.
And I'm Olivia Sloniker. Libraries across Muncie are working to keep history alive with a community scanning day.
This event will allow community members to preserve their old photos and documents. NewsLink Indiana's Madeline Kerr is here to tell us more. Madeline?
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. The Muncie Public Library, University Libraries, the Delaware County Historical Society, and Minnetrista Museum and Gardens are all teaming up for this event. I spoke to these organizations to see how they're keeping Muncie's history alive. Take a look. History is a collection of stories, and historians in Muncie are looking to add to the narrative.
People may not want to donate their original artifacts to the archive, but that information and those stories can still be shared with the community through an event like a Community Scan Day.
This weekend, Muncie residents will be able to scan their old photos and documents, adding their page to the history books.
They may have, hidden away in a closet some really interesting and important material that kind of describes and documents the history of our community.
The focus for this event is women in politics and the military.
We've been trying to document and share the stories of women who haven't been represented in the history books.
But it's also to make sure people know that they belong.
Their history is important. You don't have to be one of the founding fathers of Muncie, or you don't have to be one of the industrialists to have made an impact on Muncie and Delaware County. Your history is important and my history is important. It all fits together to tell a complete story.
It gives people a sense of place and a sense of belonging to know where they came from and also to kind of see where we're going.
Community Scan Day will take place this Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. at Minnetrista Museum and Gardens.
And history is at the heart of another Muncie staple. Beech Grove Cemetery is giving you the chance to meet citizens from the city's past. The Old West End Neighborhood Association is hosting tours in the old section this Saturday. Actors will reenact the lives of the citizens. Along with the tour, you will be able to see renovations to parts of the cemetery. Chair of the event committee, Denise King, says this tour teaches people stories that may have been lost in the history books.
I love when people come up to me or one of the tour guides and said, I didn't know that, I had no idea. That means a lot to me, and I hope it gets people also interested in making sure that Beech Grove is preserved for future generations too.
Tickets can be purchased at the front gate or on Eventbrite.
Each locally owned store has its startup story.
Grace Binkowski is live with us in the studio to tell us a bit more about the beginning of One Corner Store on the south side of Muncie. Grace?
Yes, good evening, guys. I was able to go visit the Common Market in Muncie to learn a little bit about the store, as well as one of the owners behind it. The comfort of a corner store. Cheap snacks, hot coffee, and of course, neighborly company. Something owner Mike Martin has wanted to bring to Muncie for a while.
The Common Market is just, community corner store, where people used to come gather penny candy, hang out at the coffee table.
Martin and his co-owner purchased the building known as the Common Market in 2015. It sells everything from groceries to vinyls, offers free internet access, and gives out donations. Its purpose is to serve community members of Muncie, but the inspiration for the market was found far from Indiana.
I actually played one of these in Charlotte, North Carolina with my band, and I was like, are we playing in a grocery store? It started in Charlotte, even the name.
While he's not cashing out customers, Martin spends his time rocking out with his band, Mike Martin and the Beautiful Mess. While on the road in 2015, Martin found out how to fuse his love for music into the market. By having an open recording studio, Martin says he wants to give other musicians a free space to create.
Because there was a place where I could go play music when I first started playing, that was kind of the mission, is to make a place, again in Muncie where that could happen.
Whether it's a song on the road or a soda at the market, Martin wants residents to know
Though Muncie is home.
And it was a pleasure to speak with Mike about his musical history as well as his market history. Now, off camera, we spoke about how he recorded his most recent album as well as 2 singles at the recording studio that you saw there, and you can find those on his Spotify. Live in the newsroom, Grace Benkowski, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thank you, Grace. And it would have been a beautiful day to visit that shop.
Absolutely, Olivia. And take a look at this. It was also a beautiful day on campus, and I'm hoping that it will stay that way. Ryan, what can you tell us?
Will it stay beautiful? Maybe in terms of temperatures? No, because we're going to have major changes in the way. More of that on my full forecast. Look at these temperatures right now. We have 64 degrees in Indianapolis, 68 degrees in Muncie, 62 degrees in Kokomo, and Lafayette is sitting at 63 degrees at this hour. Those temperatures are going to change because of the winds. So far the winds are out of the northwest, the southwest, but they're going to turn around to the northwest and later on tonight, and that's going to usher in a much cooler air, which I'll get 2 more on my 7-day forecast. In these next 12 hours, you're going to see that these temperatures are going to eventually drop off into the 50s, eventually into the 40s. I have all that coming up in my full forecast after this. Back to you all at the desk.
The White House released a report today on their efforts to combat climate change risks.
It comes a year after more than 20 agencies released plans on how federal facilities and programs are working against the climate crisis. That includes higher pay to federal firefighters, electrifying vehicle fleets, and determining which military bases are most at risk. The reports were requested by President Biden on his first day in office, and now the White House is highlighting how it says progress has been made, like strengthening federal facilities and improving supply chains in preparation for climate disasters.
OPEC has announced it would dramatically slash oil production by about 2 million barrels a day. The group of major oil producers includes Saudi Arabia and Russia. Outside the White House today, President Joe Biden expressed his disappointment about their decision.
Disappointment, and we're looking at what alternatives we may have. There's a lot of alternatives. We haven't made up our mind yet.
Biden's advisors are now redoubling efforts to find policy and diplomatic options to address the change.
The president is also taking his first major step towards decriminalizing marijuana. Today, he said he will pardon all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession. Senior administration officials say the move would affect thousands of Americans. It fulfills a campaign pledge to erase prior federal possession convictions. Marijuana is still illegal under federal law, even as individual states have moved toward legal use for recreational and medicinal purposes.
We consider this behavior destabilizing, unhelpful, and irresponsible. And again, we call on the DPRK to cease these types of actions.
The U.S., South Korea, and Japan are sending a message to North Korea, one missile defense exercise at a time. You're looking at the one today in the Sea of Japan. North Korea launched a number of missiles in the past 2 weeks, including one Tuesday over Japan, where people were told to take shelter. Experts say North Korea's recent actions could point to an escalation in weapons testing. Since May, U.S. and South Korean officials have said North Korea may be preparing for a nuclear test. It would be the first in nearly 5 years.
The next January 6th public hearing was announced today. We have the date and everything you need to know.
And do you love Halloween candy? We have how you can find your favorite treats across the country.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, MITS will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6, 2021 Capitol insurrection has announced a rescheduled date for its next public hearing.
It is now scheduled for October 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The committee was originally set to take a public hearing at the end of September, but it had to be postponed due to Hurricane Ian. This will be the panel's 10th hearing. It is not yet specified what the topic will be.
A member of the Proud Boys pleaded guilty to seditious conspiracy in federal court today. Jeremy Bertino, who was not at the Capitol insurrection, is a top lieutenant in the far-right extremist group. He also pleaded guilty to unlawful possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. As part of the plea agreement, Bertino could spend more than 5 years in prison. Even though Bertino wasn't at the Capitol riot, he could give crucial testimony about the group's planning and involvement. The Proud Boys' seditious conspiracy trial is set to begin in December.
Elon Musk was supposed to testify today in his legal battle with Twitter, but lawyers agreed to postpone the trial after Musk said he's ready to move forward with the $44 billion deal to buy the social media company. Musk sent a letter to the Twitter team Monday saying that the deal is on under the originally agreed upon terms as long as the legal proceedings don't continue. Today's court filing requested the trial be removed, with Musk's purchase of Twitter expected to happen around October 28th.
Speaking of Twitter, users will now be able to get more information out per tweet. The social media giant is unveiling a new feature that allows users to combine text, GIFs, photos, and videos in a single tweet. Prior to this one, only one type of media could be used per tweet, but now up to 4 forms can be sent. To get access to these multimedia posts, Twitter users have to click on the photo icon in the composer and add whichever forms to use. This new feature is available for iOS and Android users.
Halloween is right around the corner, and ahead of that sugar-filled holiday, CandyStore.com is out with this interactive map of the 50 states' favorite Halloween candies. You can scroll through the CandyStore.com map to find which is your favorite candy in the state. Indiana's favorite happens to be Starburst. Nationwide, the most popular candy was Reese Cups, followed by Skittles in second place and M&M's taking third. The National Retail Federation estimates U.S. consumers will shell about $3.1 billion on Halloween candy this year. And with Halloween candy comes Halloween weather. Ryan, on those cool temps on the way?
Yes, Olivia, they are on the way. Some of the coolest areas of the season. I have all of that coming up after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day.
Millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles, watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. Hurricane Ian is officially the second deadliest storm to hit Midland, U.S. this century.
This as the death toll reached triple digits. Thousands are still without power and unable to return to their homes.
Yes, Elias, and the cleanup is still underway as those hit try to recover. Of course, NewsLink Indiana will continue to bring you the latest.
And transitioning to weather here in Muncie, cool temps are moving in. Weather forecaster Ryan Crump has the latest.
Yes, cool temperatures are on the way. But look at these temperatures today. I hope you enjoyed them today because you're not going to see them for a few days. You're going to see here that we are 68 degrees in Muncie, 64 in Indianapolis, 63 in Lafayette. But look at Chicago, 55 degrees. So we're already seeing those two cool temperatures in the Chicago area. The high temperature today was 76 degrees. And it was 6 degrees above our normal high, which was 70. And of course, we did hit 89 degrees, which happened back in 2007. We are going to be tracking those below average temperatures. Also, abundance of sunshine. And of course, for tomorrow and Saturday, we're going to be tracking those 50s for highs. So unfortunately, for those summer lovers, you're not going to like that. And that's because of these winds that's going to be coming out of the north, that's coming out of the west, southwest right now. But after midnight, they're going to be coming out of the northwest, bringing us much cooler air to the area, so we have to keep that out in mind. But as we look at this radar right now, we do see some passive showers out here to the west over here in Lafayette, so it's not going to be a threat to us right now, and we shouldn't have to expect that to be a threat to us as we go through the course of the day to tomorrow. We do have this cold front that already passed through the Chicago area, bringing their temperatures down, and we also see another cold front that's a little further north of Chicago right now. As we go through tonight, you're going to see that those temperatures are going to drop down to the 50s. Now, take a good look at those 50s, because guess what, guys? That's going to be a high temperature for the next couple of days. And you see, it's even more brutal, little overnight lows in the 30s. Yes, the 30s. Some areas could see 20s in outlying areas, and even 34 for Saturday, for early on Saturday. Flowers, vegetation, and some plants, you may want to bring those in because frost could be a major issue, and you don't want that to be damaged by any other frost that's going to be accumulating over there. For this weekend, again, still below average for this time of the year, 59 degrees, winds out of the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. But take a look at Sunday. We do rebound a little bit to 68 degrees, but we're still going to be below average for this time of the year, slightly below average at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And of course, because of the next 14 days, you're going to be seeing yes, below average temperatures, the probability of below average temperatures for pretty much the majority of the country. The Northwest is the only place you're going to see maybe above average temperatures. You see that here on my 7-day forecast here. 50s for highs tomorrow, 57, 59 on Saturday. But look at these overnight lows, 31 degrees, 34 on Sunday morning. And then look at this. We have good news for any summer lovers. We're going to be back into the mid to upper 70s on Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe even close to 80 as we go through Wednesday. But then again, guys, look, we drop right back down to 65 degrees here on Thursday next week, and the low is going to be back in the 30s. Again, here we are with this roller coaster ride again. And this is fall. This is what we're going to be expecting as we go throughout the course of the fall.
Back in the 30s. It looks like I'm going to have to start closing my windows when I go to bed.
Yeah,
I was so used to that fall weather.
I started getting cold right as you started saying that.
Yeah, I'm cold just thinking about it.
It's going to be a cold fall break. I hope you guys are having a good fall break, of course.
Yes, we are. I'm going to have a really good fall break. I'm just not going to enjoy those cooler temperatures, though.
Yeah, fortunately, me at my hometown, I've got a nice wood-burning stove waiting at home for me. So that ought to warm the house up. So let's wrap things up.
We catch up with one local soccer team wrapping up their season, plus one Delaware County football player and his thoughts on a position change. All that and more next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously. Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Max Robson with sports. Delta boys soccer wrapping up their season yesterday after a tough loss to the Eastbrook Panthers. In NewsLink Indiana's Bryce Dimsevich went out to Delta High School to catch the second round sectional matchup.
The sound after a hard-fought season. The Delta boys soccer campaign coming to an end after a 3-2 loss to the Eastbrook Panthers. Finishing this season at 8-8-1, the Eagles coming into the matchup against the Panthers confident of their chances to win. Head coach Kurt Griffiths talks about what the team did this week to prepare for the game.
We focused a lot on the mental prep for what a sectional feels like and what that environment feels like and what it takes to win in that environment.
The Eagles starting out strong with a breakaway goal from Braden Stanley midway through the first half. The Panthers responding with 10 minutes left in the half after a penalty conversion from Andrew Diller. Both teams came out of halftime with even play, but Levi Griffiths broke the deadlock off a free kick to put Delta up 2-1. After Delta was forced down to 10 men, Eastbrook's Sam Olson converting another penalty to score the game at 2. And with just 5 minutes left in the game, Jonathan Olson giving Eastbrook the lead and the win with the final score 3-2. Eastbrook's head coach Adam Hallis explains what Delta did throughout the game to make it hard for the Panthers.
They did a really good job of connecting with those outside backs and playing balls up to the forwards and playing up to the wings. That, you know, we had to shift a lot. We had to hopefully stay organized and just keep in front of us.
After a tough loss to the Eastbrook Panthers, the Delta Eagles look to turn to next season with hopes of having a better finish in the tournament.
I think that next year it just depends on what players are there, and you build around the players that you have. Formations, styles of play, all those things depend on the personnel that are available to you.
Delta turning to next season with hopes of rebuilding once again and finishing further in the tournament. In Muncie, Bryce Dimsevich, NewsLink, Indiana.
Shifting things over to the gridiron, Ball State football's Brady Hunt competing at a new position in a familiar location. The Cardinal tight end making the short move to Schumann last year after 4 years of playing quarterback for the Eagles of Delta High School in Muncie. While committing to Ball State as quarterback, Hunt making another short move over to the tight end room for this season. The Cardinals play quickly gaining attention of the coaching staff, establishing himself as the program's starting tight end. The 6'6" tight end coming off his best game, reeling in 6 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown against Northern Illinois last weekend. The switch appearing seamless for the young tight end and the coaching staff.
It's been really good. I think tight end's a good fit for me. Obviously, transitioning from quarterback to tight end, you kind of get the big picture ideas from the quarterback mindset, and then that carries over when you play tight end, just to fully understand your position and your role in the whole offense.
Brady's frame and athletic ability, his transition to whatever position he was going to play was going to be not easy, because nothing's easy, but athletically he was up for the challenge.
Hunt and the Cardinals now look forward to their matchup against Central Michigan this Saturday in Mount Pleasant. As students and staff get ready for fall break here at Ball State, there are plenty of Cardinal sports in action this weekend. First up, Ball State men's tennis competing in their only home invite this fall season, this Friday through Sunday. Next up, Ball State field hockey taking the field at Briner Sports Complex twice this weekend to face off against Ohio on Friday and Michigan State on Sunday. Keeping things in Muncie, women's volleyball taking on the Akron Zips on Friday and the Buffalo Bulls on Saturday. Next up, Ball State football will look to keep their momentum rolling this Saturday as they travel on to Central Michigan in Mount Pleasant. And finally, after a 6-2 win over Toledo tonight, Ball State soccer returning to Bronner Sports Complex on Sunday to take on Western Michigan. So many Ball State sports happening this weekend. Are you guys going to catch up on any of them?
I think I'll be going home for fall break, but I will definitely be rooting for the Cardinals, especially the field hockey. I've caught a couple of games before, and they are intense.
Absolutely. Volleyball seems to be doing tremendously well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll be going back to home to Wisconsin this weekend, so I'll definitely be checking the box scores as much as possible, especially for volleyball.
Absolutely. We have a fantastic team this year, don't we? Coming up, NewsLink Indiana's Jovi Taylor joins us with your campus coverage.
And we have one final check at the weather.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you help me? I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. My name is Jovi Taylor, and this is your campus coverage. On Wednesday, Disc Junkies had their first meeting of the school year in the Student Center. Casey King, a student at Ball State, founded the club last December because she wanted to share her love of music with students. This semester, the club focuses on different kinds of rap music that is found around the world.
This semester, we're doing like rap around the world, so like Nigerian rap, Korean rap, all this different stuff. But we've also done things like Rex Orange County and Journey. So it really just depends on what club members are interested in like listening to.
If you're interested in going to the next Disc Junkies meeting, they'll be meeting again in the Student Center next month. For more information, follow their Instagram page, discjunkies_BSU.
Thank you, Jovi. That sounds like so much fun. I am personally more of a vinyl person, but I do love a good CD.
Yeah, I myself, I'm in the digital age, so Apple Music is pretty good. It's going to be chilly tonight for a vibe in the car. Let's see our last weather.
Yeah, so it's going to be chilly, all right, especially tomorrow and Saturday. And then we warm up, but look at those overnight lows for Thursday and Friday night into Saturday night. We're going to see lows close to in the 20s, close, but 31 degrees. But see, we're going to warm back up as we go to Tuesday and Wednesday, but cool right back down on Thursday.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow morning at 8 for our sister show, Waking Up with Cardinal Weather.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.